WAPP Madison, and we are back live on the air with another interview. Miss Teresa, tell us who you are, what you're with, and what we're doing.
Good morning, Shelley, and thank you again. This is always my favorite, one of my favorite days of the quarter when I get to spend the morning with you around your radio station kitchen table, right? Talking about really incredible things that are happening in our community. I'm Teresa Smith. I'm with Volusia County Women Who Care, a membership organization. For those of you who aren't familiar, we have over 380 members, Shelley.
It's just crazy, isn't it? I mean, just crazy.
We have grown. Our very first meeting 8 years ago, we had 30. Now we have over 388. So we've grown, and we're continuing to grow. We welcome everybody, man, woman, child, student, whatever. We welcome you.
Well, we had the youngest person last.
Yes, we did. I mean, Audrey Brown from Seabreeze High School. This young woman, amazingly, her grandmother gave her a gift, a financial gift, but the string attached was you have to support a charity. She did her research, and she found Volusia County Women Who Care. She called, her mother called and asked if they could participate. Well, of course they can participate. We welcome everybody. So we're a membership organization. We ask our members, they have the opportunity to nominate a nonprofit in the community they care about. They have the opportunity to attend every meeting or attend via Zoom or in person. And at that meeting, we draw three of those, three of those nominations. Three present for 10 minutes each. And then at the end, the members have the privilege of voting for the one organization that they would like to fund that particular quarter. All those organizations are worthy organizations. They're all incredible organizations, and each one of them are an important and integral part of our community and the fabric of our community. And we want to celebrate and support all of them, every single one of them. But the one that's it's voted for that quarter's recipient, everybody gives them $100. Now, $100 may not sound like a lot, Shelley.
Oh my God!
But if you
it's girl math. It is girl math, honey.
I'm telling you. But when your $100 combined with my $100 combined with your $100 together, in the last quarter we gave $37,000 to Volusia Free Clinic. Yes, it's applaudable, and we're growing every quarter, and we're growing because of each one of you, each one of our members. So we invite all of you. Our next meeting is November 13th.
And I liked it that there were some men there checking us out, figuring out what we were doing, because they're talking about us in the community, aren't they?
Well, we had several men join us.
I know.
Quarter. And I mean, joined Volusia County Women Care, yes, with their $100, which is what. And I tell them, we do not discriminate.
And these were big-time businessmen.
Yes.
I mean, they were businessmen in this area that are changing lives on their level. Right. And now they said, wow, what is this? Let's join in.
I want to be part of it. I want to be part.
It was so touching to see that.
It is touching. Well, you know what? When you come into that room, and if you happen to want to check us out, November 13th at the Maury Husseini Center at Daytona State College, November 13th. If you come into that room, you feel the energy, right?
Absolutely.
You know something's happening, and it's exciting because you get to make a difference. So today, and Shelley, we love Shelley. Shelley interviews our recipients each quarter. The one that does not get voted to receive the member contributions, however, gets a different grant from our Community Partner Fund. So we invite the community to contribute to our Community Partner Fund. And what we do with those funds is we support our growth, but we also provide smaller grants to the other two organizations and then invite them to come back again and present again. They can be renominated. And so today we have with us Habitat for Humanity of Greater Volusia County. And Shelley, I'll give it to you to introduce our guest, and I'm hoping that
first I want to say it's $1,200. And $1,200 is life-changing for a nonprofit, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I think about we're only 8 years old, and our first big check was $3,000.
Yes, ma'am.
And look we have a partner check for $1,200. Right. So first of all, introduce yourself and what nonprofit you're with, and then I would love to know, what does $1,200 do for you and your organization?
Well, thank you both very much for the opportunity to be here with you. My name is Lori Galuli. I'm the CEO of Habitat for Humanity of Greater Volusia County. We serve 10 cities within Volusia County. Habitat for Humanity, all of us, from our board president, Scott Chappelle, to our board of directors, our staff, and most importantly, the families that we serve, thank you so much for this opportunity. As Teresa said, the energy in that room, my first experience there was overwhelming. And while we are very, very appreciative of the generous donation, as you said, for the Community Partner Impact Grant, what I also want to share with you is not only the ability, what those funds will do for us, and I'm going to talk specifically about how we're going to use them, but the community impact of this organization for all of those business people, all those civic leaders that are in that room, Teresa, what you have allowed is a tremendous source of advocacy that is sometimes just
More
as
than the money.
important. Exactly.
It is.
We need funds, obviously, but you need the advocacy. You need the community
That's
to
why
be aware.
Teresa and I decided to do this, because it's like all these best kept secrets in our area, all these 501c3s that nobody knows about or maybe has heard about but doesn't get you. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And you're
exactly.
real people in our community doing real stuff.
That's so true.
So that's why we started
Right.
doing the radio, because we knew we didn't know about you. Or
Right.
whatever.
No.
We need to introduce you, don't we, right, Teresa?
Well, Lori, thank you for saying that, because that's a really important point. The synergies that happen in that room, the advocacy, the ability to stand in front of a group of community leaders, women and men that are making a difference in our community, that can move the needle, that can volunteer, that can bring other resources. It's incredible. Things happen every single time, and I appreciate you bringing that up.
And
Thank
a lot
you, Lori.
happens when you leave the room.
A lot happens when you leave the room.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Every organization has shared with me stories about what's happened after they presented, beyond the money they receive, and that's actually probably not. I mean, the money is important. Don't get me wrong, ladies. Please continue to give your $100. Please continue to join. But that advocacy, that ability for somebody to stand up and say, "Wait a minute, I have a resource that can help you," or you know what, let's partner together,
Let's volunteer.
let's volunteer. Let's let me bring this other resource I have. There's just so much of that goes on. But Lori, we are so excited to hear. Everybody knows Habitat for Humanity, right?
Right, but I don't think
But
we
you
really
don't
realize
know
it's
about
in our
it here
town
and what it does. So
Right,
we're so
so
anxious
tell
to hear
us.
about that. Yeah.
So our affiliate, our local affiliate for Greater Volusia, has served this community for almost 40 years. And you're right, I can't tell you, I've been in my position for almost 25 years. And while I try to tell people I started out as a Girl Scout project, they're not buying it anymore. Maybe 20 years ago, but not now. But we have served more than 200 families,
Isn't that
meaning
wonderful?
200 families, including more than 650 children, now have a quality built, safe home to call their own, to build equity in, to build generational wealth in an opportunity they never had before. So Habitat is about affordable home ownership. And we have an objective application process. It requires financial documentation and everything. And once that individual, that family is approved. We serve families and individuals. We follow all fair housing laws. We have to comply with all federal mortgage
And we're
regulations.
glad you do, because then, they get to keep the home and be forever.
Absolutely. But what we do to ensure affordability is we sell them the house only at the appraised value, and we do that to ensure that we are keeping up with values in the neighborhood, not to detrimentally impact any house that's already there.
I love that too.
Right? But then we provide a mortgage based on 30% of their income monthly, their household income, but for no more than 30 years. So for the individuals and families in our lower income brackets, sometimes that leaves a balance. And we create what we call a soft second. That's forgiven over time. So every year that they faithfully pay their mortgage back to us at 0% interest, which we provide.
That's like not even normal.
No, right.
That's
Right.
unheard of.
That makes it affordable.
Right.
That's what makes it affordable. And we base it, as I said, specifically on no more than 30% of their income.
So
to
because
ensure
you
it's
do it that
affordable.
way, you
Yes.
know what area to find them a home in. Right, because
So-
of their finances, okay, they can't live in this area because there's no way that would be the 30%, right? So you help
Well-
kind of advocate that too.
It's a little different than that because we're the contractor too.
Okay.
So we're building new housing.
Okay,
Once in a while, we'll do a renovation, but more often than not, we're building new housing.
Okay.
And what we do, because you're right, there is a point where the people in the lower income brackets can't afford the full amount.
Right.
We take that into this soft second and never want to collect on that. So say they can afford up to, I don't know,
I was gonna say that, yeah,
170,000,
right.
and the houses has appraised for 200. That 30,000 is going to go into this what's called a soft second. We don't ever want to collect on it. As every year, as they faithfully pay their mortgage, a percentage of that is forgiven, so that by the 30 years, the entire thing is forgiven. They've satisfied their mortgage. What I always say about Habitat is the family immediately improves their quality of life. They forever impact the positive future for their children. And thirdly, as they're making their mortgage payment, yes, they're building equity, and they're building it quicker than you and I because there's no interest on their
Totally.
mortgage, right? But they are now joining the Volusia County Women Who Care and all our other donors in providing that opportunity to everyone who comes after them, because we just use those mortgage payments as cash flow to build more homes.
you're educating. I think in schools nowadays they don't get a one-on-one on how to make a bill. Or how to,
Right.
and
That's right.
you are teaching them
Yes.
how to make a bill, how to be
Yes.
accountable, how to, yes, you want to own a home, but how do you get there? So, I just think the educational alone that you're doing is
Right.
life-changing.
Yes,
You
I'll
know.
point back to the Volusia County Women Who Care on that too. We have, as you said, Shelley, we have a full homeowner and financial literacy education program that goes along with their journey. Typically takes about a year or so for them to finish their sweat equity that
I was
they
going to ask
contribute.
about sweat
Yes.
equity. Can you explain sweat equity? I know what it is,
Sure.
but I think people go, what do you mean sweat equity? They don't
Right.
just get these keys handed to them, do they?
No. And you know how many people think that?
I know that's the
Yeah,
like the
that's
normal
the
thing,
sad thing.
right? But tell us,
They
sweat
don't
equity.
realize the investment and the impact that our homeowners and their tenacity in doing this. So they've applied. We've talked about that. They're working. They have a commitment of 300 sweat equity hours. And how they do that is they start out working on other homeowner candidates' homes. They help us at our restore. We have a restore where we sell donated, new, and gently used items. That's in Port Orange. And they can help us at the restore. They can help us at special events. And then as they get to the point where they have said yes to a lot that we've shown them, then we make sure that they save their last 100 sweat equity hours to work on their own home.
I did not know that part. I love that part.
Yeah. And so now, if you come out as a volunteer, as we've talked about, right, you're going to be working alongside them. Now, they probably may not have had an opportunity in the jobs that they hold to have met you before, but you may not have had an opportunity to meet them either.
Right.
And it is a
We're
tremendous...
partnering together.
Yes.
To build their home.
Yes.
Oh, I
Can
love
you
it.
imagine? See, you get that. We talk, our board of directors talks about the spirit of hope that happens. It's an intangible. So if you are someone who is struggling, right? You're working hard and yet maybe life hasn't been particularly fair to you. You're still going along. You're doing everything you can for your children to improve their lives and your own. And now you meet Shelley, who's given up her Saturday morning to come help me build my house.
And I'm honored to do that because
And you're, wow, right?
Right.
And how am I feeling now? Wow, my family has value in this community. My children have value. This lady doesn't just wish me well. She's out
Showing
here
up.
She's
hammering
participating.
Partnering with me, right.
Exactly.
And
She's putting up the drywall with me.
oh Lord help us.
Well, they'll show you how, Sally.
Okay. Well, my husband had to show me how to reverse a drill the other day, and he looked and he goes, "Do you need me to come do it?" I said, "No, I need to learn." Right. And when he handed me his nice drill and sent me off that morning, I thought, he doesn't know if I'm coming home with fingers or what. But it's neat that we also get to learn that.
Yes,
You know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? Because I think that's important that we do know how to use a screwdriver and we do know how to use a drill and stuff.
Yes.
I do. See, it's education again. Not only you're giving hope, but you're educating all along the way.
Right.
But I think one of the things that you said, Lori, that I think is so important is they're building generational wealth.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, a part of the challenge for even young working couples is having the ability to purchase a home, because that's where you start to build your wealth. You know, and then generationally you're able to pass it down, and it's so important. And so that and some of these families would never have that opportunity. So now you're giving generation after generation the leg up. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And you know what? It continues like that. And at every house, we have a house dedication when the house is completed. And I always try to talk with the homeowner before, because they do have to give a message. And sometimes people are nervous about doing that. But invariably, what they will all say to me is that they did this for their children, to show that if you have a goal in mind, you can
Well,
pursue
it's their
that.
testimony, you know, and
Yes.
that is a testimony of that you were able to do this, you know, and you were able to put hours into it, and you were able to help somebody else put hours into it. I mean, it's a whole thing, and you know, sharing your testimony of how you got there encourages somebody else to try, because there'll be people that will be volunteering that maybe they just did it because they needed to or whatever, right? They didn't have a motive or an honor or a hope. They just had to do it, right? But then they hear about that person was in my shoes.
Yes.
I'm in those shoes right now. How did they end up getting a home? What did they do to get it? You know,
To achieve that.
Right.
Yes.
So it's full circle.
Yes.
It's totally
Absolutely.
full circle.
It is.
So can anybody be part of helping build?
Absolutely.
Now, how does that work? Do you have normal contractors, or I mean, I want to know the nitty gritty.
No, these are great questions, because this is the advocacy we so appreciate. So getting the word out. So we have a tremendous group of construction employees, or we call them our construction site supervisors. And we are in the process now of hiring a third one, and we just had a second interview yesterday, and this is the kind of speech I gave, that yes, you have to have obvious construction experience and be a professional in that. We are actually any Habitat for Humanity in the state of Florida is their own general contractor based on a Florida statute that was written in 2001. So we file our own permits, but yes, our staff are seasoned construction professionals, right? But just as important as that is they have to be cheerleaders, they have to be educators, they have to train the volunteers, because we accept anyone who wants to volunteer with us. We do have an application process. We do a background check.
And those are all important things.
Those are all important because we're working with families and we have young children sometimes around. So it's important to note that you can come out there even with you'd be ahead of most people with your knowing the reverse thing on the drill, you know?
And so, well, when you just say that you vet people, that just made me even more want to volunteer, because you have accountability.
Yes,
and see,
absolutely.
accountability is very important, because we're asking the client to have accountability.
Yes.
But we also need accountability for what we're doing. I totally agree with that. So that's wonderful. So do people go on a website? Do we have a phone number? How would we get this process started if we want to volunteer?
Right. So we're just updating our website. It should be live in another month. So let me just give you our phone number to start. It is 386-257-9950. And I'm going to give a shout out to our new volunteer manager, Albert Cabrera, and he is the person that they would speak with about getting involved. So ask for Albert, and that's 257-9950.
How easy or how hard is it to get volunteers?
You know, it's interesting. We're very fortunate in this community because we have some amazing college students.
We do.
We have Bethune-Cookman, we have Daytona State, and we have Embry-Riddle.
And they're on fire.
They They are amazing. We also have, I will tell you, just a couple of weeks ago, we had the women's volleyball team from Daytona State come out, very strong and athletic young women who were able to get all the sod laid, which is a very heavy, hard job on this property in like half the time it usually takes.
Now, do we have to be strong, athletic women?
No.
Well, because people are thinking, okay, she just told me about all these 20-something-year-old people here. I'm way over the 20-something-year-old people here, but I would still like to volunteer.
There's something for everyone.
Okay.
And thank you for that. And we will, what happens is when you come to the job site, our construction staff will do like a safety lesson and talk about the job for the day. And then they will ask you what you're comfortable doing.
Okay.
All right. And we will gear something to find something appropriate.
How long does it take to build a house?
Typically, it takes us between 4 and 5 months to build the house.
That doesn't seem long.
No, it's not long, and it gives us a lot of Saturdays to engage some groups. We also have a group of people called our weekday warriors, who are some people who are retired or semi-retired, and they come out a couple of days a week. Volunteering, there's a lot of things to do. You were talking before about the financial education piece. A wonderful retired CPA named Zaina Gibson, who is also a member of Volusia County Women Who Care, has just created a whole new financial literacy piece for us with our homeowners. She just rolled it out a week ago with them, and it's like a 21-day watch on what they're spending daily.
Totally. We were talking about that, even what we eat and stuff. You know, you just don't realize. You get so busy, and I'll just do that drive-through. Well, for a while there, some of my apps were like, I could get a lot of stuff for free because I was driving through too many times, and I didn't realize.
Too many loyalty points.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's really good now and then just to take a look at
for
what
all of us,
of what we do, because we do not realize it.
No, you don't think. I think because we don't. My own personal theory, if you want to hear
We
it.
don't pay cash nowadays.
Exactly.
I took my granddaughter shopping the other day, and I made him use cash, and it was life-changing.
It is. It is. It's a
Life-changing.
big difference.
Right, because you don't know. They just give them the card.
Yeah.
You
My
don't
grandkids
think
say,
about
well, yeah, just give them the card.
Give me the card, right? And what is behind that card, right?
So
Right.
what are we doing with the $1,200 that we're giving you?
Yes, let me share that with you. And speaking of young volunteers, right? So on the construction site, we can really only have volunteers who are like 16 and above, and actually, when we're using power tools, 18 and 18 or older. So about a year ago, or a little under a year ago, a woman who was my cardiologist, a lovely Dr. Wilson, phoned, and she said her son wanted to help us. And I know I kind of know what her age was, so I was, not sure. And she told me that he was 10. And I said, well, Dr. Wilson, I don't want to discourage him, but I couldn't have him work on the construction site or the restore, but would you both like to come in and meet with me, and let's talk. Maybe there's something else we can find for him. So we made the appointment, and they came in, and 10-year-old Arsalan, and his parents have shared, I could say his name. He came with a business plan. Teresa, you would have loved
I'm telling
him.
you, some of these kids.
Wow.
He had an action plan. He had thought about it. His mom had told him, what
Those are
the
some awesome
constraints
parents.
were. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
he had a plan, and his thought was, what would be so important to him if he moved into his first home? And he said he would want to have his own desk that he could work on his schoolwork in his room.
Wow.
He and his
Motivated
dad,
child.
he, with his dad's help and his brother's help, have built 4 desks already for our Habitat homeowners, children, and they are in the process of building 2 more. And I shared with
I
them.
need to interview him.
Oh, I think you do.
I do.
Yes, you would be blown away by him.
I need him.
Shelley. He is really, and he.
I apologize. I did turn my phone off.
I shared with them the other day that we had been given this incredible grant from the Volusia County Women Who Care, this Community Impact Partner grant, and I told him that we were going to devote all those funds to reimbursing their family for the cost of the materials.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's a great. So we just got a whole bunch of desks for little people.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, that's so great.
And then what he also asks me like the age of the children, a little bit about them, and then he creates like something in a frame, like a motivational or a picture or something that he feels they will like. And then the family has purchased like every other desk that they brought and delivered. They had like all not office, school supplies for the children and to fill the desk.
that.
And
How special. Generational wealth right there.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be
Yes.
money. It doesn't have to be anything. Right.
You're setting an example for those children, and the process you're going through, it's setting an example for those children about, tenacity and accountability, and you have to work.
And
for
laboring.
and what you have to do to earn it. It's not just given to you. That's all,
We don't
so
click
many
a button, it
lessons in
gets
that.
delivered.
Yeah.
You have to actually participate.
You have to do
Putting
something.
sweat equity into all these kids'
I love
desks. That is the neatest thing ever.
Is
See, we did
that-
not know about that, and I love it when I get the surprise live on the air. And so, how cool. How cool.
one thing I do want to share with you is that there is, excuse me.
Oh, I would hand that to you.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I want to share with you something that's so important to me is the work that our Habitat homeowners do in this community. They hold essential jobs. They work in our hospitals as patient techs and phlebotomists. They're working in nursing homes as CNAs, certified nursing assistants, in the dietary department and
Real
housekeeping.
people in real life.
Real people, real life. A couple of our homeowners are school bus drivers, work in manufacturing. A lot of them work in hospitality. They don't make the type of income that would allow them to go to a bank, a local bank in town, and apply and qualify for a conventional mortgage. That's why Habitat's so important, in my opinion.
Oh, totally.
And they have this opportunity, and like you all said before, for probably in my career, I have worked with about 135, 140 families. Maybe 5 of them, someone before them owned a house. For the rest of them, this is the first opportunity.
Wow.
You're giving them that leg up. You're giving them that encouragement. You're giving them that. That's wonderful.
That's exactly right. And they're running with it. All we're giving
Is
is
an
that opportunity. And they're running with it, and they're making it happen. And the word you used before is one of my favorite, tenacity, their determination, their faith is what has kept them going and keeps them going through this program.
So, are you in the middle of a build right now?
Yes, we're in the middle of 2 builds right now, and we
Is
have.
that unusual to be doing 2 at the same time?
No,
Okay.
actually, we've been up to about 3, and we're getting ready to be ready for 4 at a time.
Oh.
So we've really increased our building, and I do need to do a shout out to Jeff Beck. He is Vice President of Supply Chain with Top Build Corporation, and Top Build has been a tremendous partner to us for the last 18 years. Jeff is our immediate past president, and during his term, he really, as someone who holds a general contractor license, he really helped us accelerate our builds and work on.
Is it because you
improving.
need more builds? I mean, do you have that many people in need of homes that you need to accelerate the builds?
Yes, we actually have, thank you for saying that, we have 15 families that we're working with in our pipeline right now.
Okay.
So as they get to the point where they have completed a certain number of sweat equity hours, and we can show them a lot, and then they also have to save for closing costs for
I would love to see their faces when you actually take them and show them what is the possibility, what is about to happen to them.
Yes.
Must be so special.
Yes, it is. And you know what? If your schedule allows, we'd like to invite you and your listening audience to a special event we're holding on Saturday, September the 6th, 10 a.m. The address is 1445 Flomish Street.
Oh, yeah. I heard,
Daytona.
Yeah, I heard about that. It's supposed to be
Okay.
really rich. And what are we going to see that day?
You're going to see our first development called Legacy Woods. The infrastructure is complete after a year and a half. We're going to celebrate our partners. We're going to celebrate DS and Angela Patel, the couple who donated the 6.35 acre property
Wow.
to us to make this possible. We're going to build 40 homes there. We're going to break ground on the first house, which will be is already sponsored by our longtime partner, Ormond Beach Presbyterian Church.
Wow.
And you will see her face, Casey, our first homeowner at Legacy Woods, and her children as we break ground on that property.
And what's that date and time again?
That date is Saturday, September the 6th at 10 a.m. We invite your entire listening audience.
And all of us Volusia County women that care.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be on your. It will be posted on our website. We will make sure they come.
Fantastic. Thank you
I
so much.
enjoyed having you today. Could you give us a phone number again of how we can get a hold of you, or social media, of any of that stuff that we can get a hold of you, please?
Thank you so much. We are on Facebook, and it's Habitat for Humanity of Greater Volusia County. We also have our Habitat for Humanity of Greater Volusia County Restore Facebook page as well. I encourage you to
Is the
check
Restore
that out.
open to anybody?
Yes, it's
Okay.
open to the public. We're in Dunlawton Square.
Okay.
We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 4:30. We accept donations, shoppers, volunteers. Love to have you there. It's amazing the things that we have.
Okay.
Beautiful things. Check out the Facebook page for photographs. But please call our office for any reason. If you're interested in our home ownership program, if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like more information about Legacy Woods, we'd love to hear from you. And that's 386-257-9950.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. What did we learn today, Miss Teresa?
Well, I am so excited to learn more about Habitat for Humanity. And let me just say, before we started this interview, we had a moment, Shelley and I did, to talk to Lori, and we are going to plan, ladies and gentlemen, a volunteer day, a build day for Volusia County Women Who Care members, and we're going to come out to Legacy Wood. So stay tuned. Sometime in November, we're going to announce that and have an opportunity for us to build together. We've been building
so
community
exciting.
together. We can build a home together. And
I mean, guys.
we're very excited about it. So.
I am very excited
Yeah.
about that, because to talk about it's great, but to go out, and even if you only have a few hours, see, people always get this thing, well, I can't give 50 hours. Doesn't matter, does it? Anything is help.
Oh, of course. Come out for a few hours.
Right, but you know, people get, we think if we can't build the whole house, we
Right,
can't, but we're not
no.
welcome.
Oh, my
we're
gosh,
welcome
yes.
for wherever we can do,
Yes.
right?
Yes. And it's just like with Volusia County Women Who Care. It's everyone's coming together. It's that strength. And if I want to say one more thing,
Yes, ma'am.
I want to thank Sherry Irby.
Okay.
Sherry is a member of Volusia County Women Who Care who nominated us, who spoke for us for this grant. She worked with us probably 15 years ago. She was the manager of our Restore then in Daytona Beach. And she's done so much for this community. And it was Sherry's engagement with us and her engagement with Teresa that opened this door to our new partnership, and we're very grateful
Well, and
for
you
that.
had some people in the audience that knew all kinds of stuff too.
Yeah.
It was very interesting because there was questions asked, and people were able to say, "Oh, I've been part of it," or "I've done it," and I thought
Right.
that was really cool. How it was
Very
all
cool.
over the room of people doing it. I actually sat at a table with somebody that has been in a build, and I was like, I've always wanted to do that. So
Yes.
it was exciting. And I can't wait to be
Well,
part
a
of it.
lot of us are going to have the opportunity.
I
and
know.
I can't wait either.
I'm so
Shelley.
excited.
Thank you, Lori, for
Well,
sharing
thank you so
with
much.
us.
Give that phone number one last time, please.
Yes, please. 257-9950. And again, if you know of anyone who's interested in home ownership opportunity or yourself, please give us a call. We're looking for
And that's
you.
a 386, right?
386.
All right. Thank you so much. Anything else, Teresa?
That's that. What can you say to follow that?
I know.
That's incredible. Thank you,
We're all
Shelley, and thank
excited.
you, Lori.
Thank you.
God bless you.